In the criminal justice system, murder-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In the inner city, the dedicated detectives that investigate those vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Crimes Unit. Here are their stories.
From drugs to extortion, go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watching. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I want a tote gun, there ain't no coming back. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watching. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I want a tote gun, there ain't no coming back.
I know this cat named Jimmy that stayed around the way, known for selling weed and even a little yay. Many ways of getting paid, 100 million schemes, hustling, had many ways to get cream. Put together a team, making moves on the scene. A life of crime, the only thing that Jimmy dreamed. Bought an AR-15 and a couple of magazines. Down to pull a lick with his team, man, it seems he had a chance to score him 100 grand. Rob a strip club, it goes wrong, he's a wanted man. They had a perfect plan with a chick on the inside. At the end of the night, quick and fast, man, in this slide. The owner of the club had a submachine Uzi. Perfect plan, but show it didn't go smoothly. The stripper had a toolie and popped one of his goons. Jimmy grabbed the AR and mowed down the room, cause
crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watching. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I want a tote gun, there ain't no coming back. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watching. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I want a tote gun, there ain't no coming back.
The aftermath for the smash and grab was all over the news. Jail ain't an option, he ain't got nothing to lose. See, Jimmy was a fool, was one of them type of cats. Once he made his mind up, man, there ain't no turning back. Found a couple of cats selling Oxy and Percocet. Grabbed his gun and killed them off just like Berkowitz. Some gruesome type murder shit, unsolved mysteries. Jimmy's getting reckless, he started robbing dispensaries. But it made no sense to me. You think he laid low and get out of Dodge instantly, but nah, see, that's not Jimmy though. He was addicted to money and letting the trigger go. But his crew was starting to fall back. Jimmy thought they was snitching, wasn't having all that. One by one they fall flat, cause Jimmy is ruthless. Dead man can't snitch, you know that is true shit. Cause
crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watching. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I want a tote gun, there ain't no coming back. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watching. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I want a tote gun, there ain't no coming back.
Jimmy found some more goons so they can rob a bank. We get in and get out, then everybody can break quick. A few minutes before the cops came swarming. Radio synced up so they can have a warning. First thing in the morning, right when they open, hit them quick fast, that's what Jimmy was hoping. The doors open, they bust in and grab the guard. The manager tried to run but he wouldn't get far. They triggered the alarm, they can hear the cops siren. Jimmy lost it, grabbed his gun and start firing. One of his goons grabbed the loot out of the vault. If they get out now, then they probably won't get caught. Yeah, that's what they thought. Soon as they opened the door, police was set up and they was ready for war. See, Jimmy started blasting with reckless abandon. Sniper shot Jimmy dead right where he was standing. Damn. Jimmy dead, the homie Brian surrendered. There was one dude left, but nobody remembered. He took off his gear and pretended he was a victim. He was acting all cool so he can blend in with him. He played made the road smooth and got away, so he thought he stashed away the money. He figured he won't get caught. Like most dudes, he couldn't keep it running his mouth. Someone gon' catch feelings and snitch without a doubt. See, Brett was stressed out. The cop was on his trail, trying to get out of town, cause he ain't going to jail. Trying to make some plans and gotta stay low key. And gotta make some moves and stack some DOE. While Brett is on the move, the cops is closing in. Got some promising leads, but most of them dead ends. They going over the footage, trying to figure it out. 3 suspects, so how did one just get out? See, hour after hour, they scour over the tapes and gathering the details and where they made the mistakes. Re-interviewing witnesses, trying to find us some clues. Looking at the bitches, but yo, who they gon' choose? Then they find something that was almost out of view. During the video footage, they found some muddy shoes. Dissecting each frame and all of the different views. Had to be tight-lipped, can't let it get to the news. See, one cop wasn't even worried about the suspect, more concerned with the money, and that's the only subject. They get a tip and there's a break in the case. They give them a warrant and search over his place. His name is Brett Jackson. The police wanted to question him. Knock on the door, but no one was at the residence. They bust in and conduct the search. They didn't find nothing pertinent. Cops feeling the worst. They feeling besmirched before they left the place. They find the same boots they saw up on the tapes. There's an APP out on Brett, and one cop was pissed. No sign of the money yet. The search for Brett was a little painstaking. They get a tip, someone saw him at the train station. They get there, man, and they racking their brains pacing. His train left an hour before they came racing. The destination was San Francisco. Called the authorities to cut him off in the midst though. They stopped the train somewhere in Lost Hills. Brett wasn't on it, it gave the cops chills. Now they back to square one. They get an anonymous tip, but where did it come from? There must be a leak at the precinct. We're really not sure, but yo, man, that's what we think. Then one of Brett's girls calls her because he's with her. She's scared for her life cause he was gonna hit her. They get in the dress and the cops there in the flash. One cop is early and asking for the cash. Then Brett panics, pulls out the automatic. Butt shots in the air, now everybody is frantic. Officer Johnson shot Brett up in his arm. He dropped the bag, Officer Johnson just storms. Scoops up the bag and runs out the back door. All the cops rush in and Brett was ready for woe. He's letting off shots, emptying his clip. Cops let off rounds and hit him up in the hip. Hit him up in the chest and hit him up in the abdomen. Brett kept firing, he's bloody and now he's scrambling. Falls to the ground and on his last breath. Says the cop grabbed the loot man and just left. They called an ambulance and rushed him to the ER. They looking for Johnson cause yo, he couldn't be far. Case closed, they didn't recover the dose. Johnson's in the wind where he was, no one knows. Officer Johnson is on the run, briefcase full of money and a bag full of guns. In case the heat comes, he'll be well prepared. Cops is on his trail, man, but he's a little scared. He's making false claims, giving cops bad info. Staying a step ahead, didn't know what he was in for. They starting to put 2 and 2 together. How deep Officer Johnson was involved was clever. They starting to connect the dots. All the past cases came together, was a intricate plot. Johnson was a decorated detective, good cop, gon' back, look at all his perspectives. His past cases ended up unsolved, put the pieces together and who was involved. Herman Smith name popped up constantly, been on his trail for years but couldn't make it stick, honestly. What's the origin of his corruption and what would cause him to be the topic of discussion? All the schemes were exposed, he was busted. The whole precinct found out and was disgusted. They get a break in the case, they found some info on a laptop that they found at his place. They think they figured out the master plan. He had some people he was chilling with in Amsterdam. It let the authorities know what the situation was. Terrain was unfamiliar, but that's what the destination was. They get a lead from people that smoke weed. Gave them some info that they might need. They found a hotel that Johnson was staying at. He checked out the day before, so where could he be laying at? They heard a dude that they didn't know, buying girls, buying drugs, and spending some big dough. They get the address to see if it was Johnson. They get robbed and they saw it was a problem. The place was ransacking, blood stains everywhere. Blood smudges on the table in every chair. No sign of Johnson or the money man anywhere. His body found in the bag, so how'd he fit in there? Now this mystery led to another mystery. Who was responsible for putting Johnson out his misery? Not a clue, they didn't know what to do. They searched the scene but couldn't find nothing to pursue. They talked to the neighbor to try to get some insight. There was a party that night, they got an invite. They walked over to the door, a few men behind them. Man, I think it was like 4. They said we should leave or they will let the burner spit. Did you happen to catch his name? Yeah, Herman Smith. I know this cat named Herman, black and half German, known for carjacking and even some curb serving. He made his way through the world of crime. Heard he went away, man, and probably did some time. Now he got his own family, a boss of sorts. Anyone serving on the fucking block was short. Either end up missing or they limbs dismembered. Bodies found in ditches and faces is disfigured. Let's get the picture, heard the name and never seen him. Cops could never find him and enemies couldn't beat him. Herman Smith, a name in all feared. Cops heard of him but could never get near. Officer Johnson had a problem. He had issues with gambling and Herman Smith can solve them. Johnson owed Herman a gang of money. Herman let it slide and laughed it off like it was funny. The way he saw it, he had a cop on the payroll. As long as Johnson told him the cases always stay cold. Eventually he knew the stress would take hold. He figured he pay him back and Herman to go away though. He calls a meeting to give Herman the loot that he took from Brett Jackson. Now the cops are in hot pursuit. He tried to get cute and give him a bag of fake bills. Johnson told him don't move and stay still. One of his goons put a bullet in his back. The other cat grabbed the axe and you know what he did with that. Swing, swing, swing and chop, chop, chop. Put him in the bag, easily found by the cops. 2 months of searching and not a trail to follow. The fact they may never catch him, to tough pill to swallow. They get a tip that Johnson left something in the folder, man, that they found on his desk. It was a routing number to a bank account. They get to the bank, man, and check it out. They get the info they need to get a warrant. Being discreet on their moves was important. They get a SWAT team ready. All exits to cover, man, the SWAT team steady. They bust in and a shootout ensues. The cops laying down on Herman's goons. No sign of Herman Smith, not even a clue. Every door was checked except for this back room. It looked like a warehouse. Still no sign of Herman Smith or his whereabouts. Then a projector drops from the ceiling. A man image appears, it was revealing. Yes, it's me, Herman Smith. One more step and I'm letting the burner spit. I'll kill you all and I'm emptying the clip. The place will explode and blow you all to bits. Cops didn't give a shit and they find a trap door. They go through it, man, and they find the back door that led to a tunnel that led out to the subway. They followed the only trail that led one way. They surround him with nowhere to go. He surrenders, drops his gun, man, right to the floor.
Alright, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everything you say about me is true. I'm a bully. I got no powers. I got no right to be pretending to be the witness. I got nothing to do before. I'm just plain old Herman Smith from Atlantic City.
Herman's at the station getting taken into custody. He wasn't saying much, but he did speak reluctantly. Plus he lawyered up immediately. A lawyer shows up and fights for Herman expediently. He goes to the arraignment and asks him for bail. The judge says no and sends his ass to jail. Getting ready for the trial, preparing for his defense. How's he gonna approach it? What made the most sense? Just before the trial, a riot ensues at the prison. Herman got shaped and now he's barely living. They rush him to the infirmary. He lost a lot of blood, it's a serious emergency. They get him to a nearby facility to save his life. To eat or has the ability to give him a chance to survive this. They gave him CPR but no one could revive him. flatline, now everyone is frantic. People are running around and everyone's in a panic. A group of armed men, they rush in and take the body. They bust a couple shots in the air in the lobby. They put him in a van and drive off in the rush. And just like that, Herman Smith sits up. Little do they know a cop was on his trail. In the unmarked car, man, they is on his tail. A few guards and doctors on the payroll. Just enough confusion so Herman can get away though. The overzealous cop's name was Steven. He tells the precinct what he saw, they don't believe him. They wanted to close the case. Stevens wanted to put surveillance up on his place. No sign of Herman Smith for months. Stevens was active and still pursuing the hunch. Then the tip came through in the clutch. One of the guards in the prison, man, was doing too much. Got caught in some other shit, now he looking to deal. Trying to get time off his sentence, now he ready to squeal. He knew where Herman was laid and low at. They was heavily armed if they didn't know that. Satellites and cameras up in the compound. See, they was ready for a showdown. Cops was ready, man, it was time to go down. It took a little time to dig a tunnel underground. They ready for the water pop off. They bust through the door and Herman's goons got caught. Grenades, guns, and loud screams everywhere. Through the commotion, they couldn't find Herman anywhere. All Herman's goons are dead or even captured. It looked like something out of the Rapture. Bodies, blood, and smoke all over the compound. They had to release the bloodhounds. Dogs barking, howling, they found something. Herman Smith comes out of nowhere and busting. Kills 3 cops and now he's on the run. He's shooting cops left and right, one by one. The sniper gets Herman up in the crosshairs. Herman drops out of nowhere. The case closed. You win some, you lose some. That's how that shit goes.